Hello, welcome to Kimmy's Garden Journey. Today I wanted to show you the flat of marigolds that I divided from my pots of tomatoes. I've just planted seeds in those tomato plants so that they would get a good start, and then I thinned them, and then I put soil in the flats of trays. I went through the whole process. You'll see the video on it. But this is what it looks like now. They're getting ready to bloom in the pot here, or in the cell packs in here, and they're doing really well. That's a good way to do this, and you can put them where you want to. You can see the colors that are coming up. A couple of them were the real tiny ones that I got out of there. They're still doing all right, but they're in the middle. They didn't come up quite as tall as the rest of them because of that. But there's the flat that I was working on with you guys. So, hi, this is Kimmy. I'm just showing you the bags and the process of which I've saved my heads of the seeds for the marigolds. Each little seed head that you pop off of a marigold in that fall when they actually go to seed, this is what they look like. These are the short ones. I actually label my bags. Like, these are medium over here, and I did not grow any of these in the pots yet. But you can just pull them apart, and these are all the seeds. This is what you would get if you bought these in a store, in a little packet that gives you very few of them. When you can do these, I just put them in these bags, and they've been sitting here over the course of the winter, and they've come up just fine. I did buy a bunch of these kind of seed packets that you can store them in. It'll keep them a little bit, I guess, preserved while you're waiting to put them into the ground or into some potting soil in the spring. And so that's how I do it. I pop them off in the fall. A lot of people know this already, but there are those who don't know this. So I'm just giving you that little bit of information. These are the marigolds that I was going to tell you about, the pots and the cells that I'm doing right now. I'm going to be taking these, a little spoon, probably one of my little measuring spoons that are older ones I use. And I'm going to dig out the ones that are crowded, and I'm going to put them in the little cells and let them kind of pop up and get a little bit more mature, and then plant them out in my teardrop garden. So that's the goal right now. Here is my gardening buddy. My gardening buddy here. That's my Marigolds. Oh my goodness. That's my gardening buddy, huh? Yeah. He hates to come out with mamas, huh? Yes, he does. Yeah. It's so hot that Mr. Great Dane with his big old flappies, you get so hot, don't you? Yeah. Well, get so hot. You do. Mama's got to get some water now. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the potting soil and putting it in these little cells. You just want to kind of fill this stuff about maybe halfway. And then you're going to put your little plants in there in the little spoonfuls that I'm going to show you. And I'm doing this on the lawn so it'll make a big mess over there on the patio. Got big sticks in this stuff. It's good, but I don't want it in there. Okay, so I will show you the next step as soon as I get done with this. With these guys, I'm kind of like doing this just to keep it more even and get it where I exactly want the dirt to go. And I'm almost ready with the halfway mark on this, or at least pretty close. Anything that doesn't look halfway, you can always switch them like over to another cell if it seems too full or whatever. I am going to water this down with a hose on a misty setting before planting the marigolds in here. This will give me time too for the marigolds to kind of get a little stronger and maybe even develop a couple of blooms, and I'll know what I'm planting and where. That helps. This is, by the way, the Miracle Grow Moisture Control Potting Mix. You can get that just about anywhere. Best deals are at like Sam's Club or Costco, and I have a Sam's Club near me, so I'll grab bags of this stuff because I use it every year for something or another. It never goes to waste. So I'm going to take the tray, put it over here by the marigolds, and I'm going to mist spray it. Okay, I'm putting this on mist. I'm going to mist this soil so that it's not all dry when I put the marigolds down in there. Also settles that dirt down a little bit. Okay, didn't take too much. There we go. That should be good enough for the soaking. Sometimes these little ones work too. See how it just got the little ball. And I'm going to put that one right here. Just like that. And then you just get another one. Now, you just got to figure out what ones you want out of the positions that they're in. You don't want anything to crowd out the tomato plants. Like I said, each one of these is going to become a very large individual plant. Now, go way underneath of it. You don't want to like damage the roots. That's the most important part right here. And then just pull them both up if you have to. Because sometimes, and these seedlings, you can actually handle them with just the leaves, and it's better to do so rather than damage any of the roots. And there we go. Let's put that right there. I will pack it around with some soil. I am misting them again just real quick because I'm going to go and get the bag of potting soil and bring it over here, and kind of like the ones I've already put in here, make a little soil around them so that they don't dry out on me before I get the rest of those out. Back to what I was saying. You can just sort of like push them over just a little bit with the soil to get them to straighten up a little. They'll do it on their own pretty much. I baby my plants a little bit. Some people are like, oh, plop them in there, be done. Yeah, you know, I actually enjoy doing this. I'm not impatient with it. And, you know, you get good results. There are 50 marigolds in this tray. Continuing on from what I was just saying, and I knew I was going to pot these up and then put them into the cells so that I could put them into my teardrop garden and maybe some in the front garden over there where the arbor is there. I have 2 arbors out there. And I'm going to place them wherever, you know, and just give myself a lot of color out in the gardens. It has color out there with my perennials, but I like the constant color. So, and marigolds are good, especially with all the pests I have invading my roses. They're a good thing to have around. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish this. I just wanted you to see this. Now I'm going to take my mist spray here. Right now I want to give this a mist before I get the last marigold, because this really does need to be, always make sure it's on that mist setting. You don't want to pound these things like with water. You just want to mist them. If you notice, these went in and they were lying down on their little sides and they were looking pretty sorry. Well, give them some water and this nice potting soil. It has some moisture control to it. It has some fertilizer in it too that feeds for up to 6 months. And then I'll show you what this looks like in about another couple of weeks. So give it a really nice, good soaking. This gets it to go all the way through the soil. It absorbs it. It gets it to settle around the roots. Never use more than a mist on these tiny cells. Like I said, it can uproot these guys. They're so fragile being this young. You just do it on a mist, and you do this a couple times a day to keep these from drying out. It's really important not to let these dry out. These will reward you in beautiful little marigolds. And you won't have to go to the store paying top dollar for marigolds that you can get for free out of your garden every year. The only thing that's not free is your soil, but that, as you can see, I've used barely any of this soil for this package right here, for this tray. And those things cost maybe at best 13 bucks. Sometimes a little more depending on where you go. Sometimes you can get them on real good specials, like for $9.99, $10.99. I mean, if you go to the right places. I'm going to rinse off my tools real quick. There you go. I'm also going to water this real quick before I leave. If I actually took every one of these pots that I was saying, and I could easily get, I don't know, if I had to just roughly about 10 of these trays of these marigolds and have plenty to. All right, well, that's it for the day for this. I'm just watering. I'm going to move that over to a table where it's got filtered light. You don't want them out in the hot sun all day. That's not good for them either, but you want bright light and some sun, like dappled. Over there under that pergola is perfect because there's always some dappled light under that area. So I'm going to give this a nice, good soak from all the moving around I did. And I'm going to leave that in that position because I'm going to still thin that right there. But that's what you want for thinning. Basil's in the front. I've got these guys back there spaced apart by a few inches, and they'll get bigger and they will fill out this pot. Don't you worry about that. It will. All right. I won't fill it up so high next time. It'll be easier to get the water. You want to get one of your toys? Is that what you want? Huh? He likes to play with his toys. You want to play with your toy? Huh? Go get it. You want to get your ball? Get it, Rico. Get your ball. Well, get it. He used to get in the wading pool when he was about 7 months old. He's 5 years old and has forgotten all about that wading pool. Get it. Get it, Rigo. Get it. You can get in. Get in. All right.